Speaking of sinister, Eric, we have Hillary Clinton on the docket. She was on deck in the on deck circle, getting her practice swings in as everybody else warmed up for the presidential race. And then
Oh,
she was like,
speaking
you
of,
know
are
what?
we missing the Republican debate right now? Like, is that on
We
right now?
are. We're
Or
missing the
oh.
very exciting Republican debate, I'm sure.
Okay.
As long as Chris Christie's eating a hoagie, then we're missing something. Hillary Clinton on The View, and we know how we love The View. The fake names that are mad at Nikki Haley's fake name. How dare she go by
Do
a
we
fake name? My name's
remember
Sunny, and my name's Whoopi.
Whoopi Goldberg, who she admitted as to why she chose the name? Neither here nor there. I was just remembering. I think we need to, since we're talking about sports and stuff, I think we need to go back and remember Pablo. Was his name Pablo Torre? Who used to be on Around the Horn or Pardon the Interruption or something like that, some like old school ESPN show, and
Mm-hmm.
he went on MSNBC to like pledge his allegiance to the regime. I
Mm-hmm.
just That's it. I just think we don't want to forget that. We just don't want to
Whoopi's real
forget.
name.
We,
Whoopi's real name's Karen Johnson, if you recall.
you're joking. That's a joke, right?
No, it's spelled Caryn, but it's still Karen. Unless you want
But
to say
it's just
Kareen, then it's
but
Kareen Jean Pierre, which is funny too.
Karen Johnson. I did not know that, and she changed it to Whoopi Goldberg. Now, why would she
This we
do
all
that?
do. I was thinking would change my name to Farty Bonstein or something like that. So
Okay,
Hillary Clinton, wonderful lady, on The View today, talking about how
she's
Trump.
beautiful too.
I like her stand-in. You know that one set of photos at an event where it was clearly just a lookalike of her? That was a great one.
I do not remember
Trailing off here. So she's a wonderful lady, and not only did she say Trump is just like Hitler, but at least with Hitler and other totalitarian governments and dictators, at least they got into office and were duly elected, and they had a slow burn into being fascist. Trump, you know what he's going to do, so you should listen to what he says because he's evil.
He sowed in this country. What, in your view, would happen if he were to be reelected?
Oh, I can't even think that, because I think it would be the end of our country as we know it. And I don't say that lightly. You know, I hated losing, and I especially hated losing to him because I had seen so many warning signals during
Yes.
the campaign. But I immediately said, look, we have to give him a chance. We've got to support, the president we have. And
So we need to fact check Hillary in real time. So, and there's a lot of it, Eric. So let's be patient here. Number one, I immediately said this. She took till 3 a.m. to call Donald Trump for him winning. And I forget who it was that had to tell her if it was Podesta or whatnot. But she sent out John Podesta. She was probably already drunk. Sent him out to concede, but she didn't call him till like 3 a.m. because she was so enraged that she couldn't win. Let's continue.
I meant it, and I tried really hard. And then literally from his inauguration on, it was nothing but, accusing people of things, making up facts, denying the size of the crowd at his own inauguration. And everything that I worried.
Yeah, go ahead.
What does that have to do with anything? Denying the size of the crowd at his inauguration? What are you talking about, lady? Like, you're so she so amongst the reasons why she doesn't like Donald Trump is because he believes there was more people at his inauguration than were actually there. Is that what that means? Like, it
Well,
doesn't make
not
any
only that,
sense.
Eric, is she saying he's accusing people of things. They investigated him for Trump Russia collusion for 2 years. It was something like 700 days. Not only that, he's got the 90 whatever indictments right now, and the only thing that they think they're close to sticking on him is overestimating the value of his property Mar-a-Lago so that he could get a better loan rate.
Well,
That's what they're going for.
you're not a realtor. You can't weigh in on that if you're not a Florida, Miami metro area real estate expert, then you have no place you can't weigh in on the
They need
value
a
of Mar-a-Lago.
real estate Dr. Fauci.
Yeah.
3 people only died in here. So yeah, there'll be more. Don't worry.
About I saw unfolding. And so I think that he'd be even worse now because he was somewhat restrained, believe it or not, in the first term by people who he hired because he thought they would go along with him, and they stood up to him. And so now he is going to, if he were ever near the Oval Office again, find people who have no principles, no conscience, who are totally tied, to his fortunes, literally, and therefore would do whatever he said.
Okay, now we have to stop it again there. So not only in 2016 was he going to destroy the country, and you couldn't trust anybody he hired, and everybody who works for Donald Trump must be a sick person who will just, do whatever he says. No, actually, we were wrong that time. Now, this time, if he gets into office, Eric, he's going to destroy the country. And now, this time, he's only going to have people that don't say no to him. And somehow, they're all going to have already worked for him. Even though Jared and Ivanka already worked for him. Even though they say that Trump Jr. and Eric Trump were already they're on trial right now. They just testified the other day when they were being argued to have been in cahoots with him in lying about the election, quote unquote, and misrepresenting the value of his properties. But somehow there's going to be people who are more close to him working for him next time. Can we figure that out?
You obviously, we're beyond the point of like trying to like win people over with logic, right? This is they're clear about this. Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, no, I was getting a little notification, but is there still people on the fence? There's still people in the middle? Because at this point right now, it seems like you're going to have either a completely useless bag of bones, like a weirdo zombie who's going to believe anything you tell them, or people who can clearly see through this. Like, is it? And I guess there's so many people, right? Even in New York City alone, 8 million people. Like, there are probably people who snap out of it every day, but it's like, how can you watch Hillary Clinton on The View and manipulative? It's like, this is for old people who can tell. Like, how did we get this far? Like, it's just so painfully obvious. I want to get back into the shoes of somebody who can't see clear through this. You know what I mean?
It's been a long time too to be sitting through this and have. I don't know. I'm still not sure.
Yeah.
I'm still not sure about Hillary Clinton.
And so the wreckage is almost unimaginable. When I was Secretary of State,
same thing they said in 2016. The damage he's going to do is unfathomable. Well, we lived through that, and now we've lived through Biden, so it's pretty obvious.
I used to talk about one and done. And what I meant by that is that
here comes the Hitler stuff.
People would get legitimately elected, and then they would try to do away with elections and do away with opposition and do away with a free press.
Wait a second. Get duly elected, do away with opposition, do away with a free press. Who has done that in the last 2 years or less? Zelensky, who is supported by the Clintons. The Clintons gave him a Nobel Prize, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. He immediately says no other press organizations, compile them all into state press, and then also said no other political parties, and now is not the time for elections. So the thing she's accusing Trump of doing, she already supports a guy who does that.
Yeah, but Russia. But wait, before I mean, that's what I'm saying though, right? Like, that's proving the point. Like, there's nobody who doesn't see through this. Like, I don't even on the plus side, I don't think they're not winning people over. Like, is there somebody who just is going to turn 18 this year, and I'm sure there are. I mean, there's millions of people in the country. So yes, I guess there are people, but you're about to quote unquote vote for the first time, and you look at this and you say, you know what? Yeah, I like Hillary. I'm gonna go with that. I just don't see it. Even if the media has brainwashed you, you're still, if you're just about to start voting, you're still young enough to realize that, you're probably, people are going to watch this on Instagram, on YouTube. Like, there's no 18-year-old who sat down and watched The View on TV. So getting this in clips, I don't know if it's winning over anybody. Like, I don't know if it's winning over anybody, but I also don't think it's, I mean, the line's already drawn. Now we're just watching it circle the drain, I feel like.
Yeah, you're probably right. The View is for like conservative porn, like like rage porn, and
It's just for
the
guys
lonely
like
women who
us.
watch it. Yeah. All right, give us the goods here, Hillary. Why is he like Hitler?
And you could see it in countries where, well, Hitler was duly elected.
That's right.
Right? And so all of a
right, wow.
sudden, somebody with those tendencies, those dictatorial, authoritarian tendencies, would be like, oh, okay, we're going to shut this down. We're going to throw these people in
Zelensky.
jail. And they didn't
Zelensky.
usually telegraph that. Trump is telling us what he intends to do.
We need to listen to
Take him at his word. The man means to throw people in jail.
Oh, he wants to throw people in jail. Chill, Eric. Here I was thinking that people who didn't even go inside the Capitol, Owen Schroyer, for example, go to jail for January 6th. He's the one that wants to throw people in jail as they're trying to throw him in jail, Eric.
No, it's again, it's beyond the pale. And who works with her? Who is Hillary work? Who was just like, yeah, the 2015 talking point of like Hitler, Nazi, fascist. Just do that again. Just run it back. Do it
They
again.
are, yeah.
Like,
She probably got noodle hair lady, Wasserman Schultz. Maybe John Podesta's back. If John Podesta can stop
They're just-
looking at like one of his weird naked paintings or figurines.
So she's
might
just
be
back
there.
at the top of the order. Like, just like this was the original Trump smear. They're just do it again.
Yeah, it seems that way. It's literal 2015-16
Yeah.
talking points.
Turn it up, Jordan.